Today we're going to make peppermint cheesecake. I love cheesecake and it is one of my favorite holiday desserts. This cheesecake is perfect for either Christmas or New Year's. However, if you want to make it and it isn't Christmas or New Year's, you can just leave out the peppermint flavor and the peppermint chips and you'll have a delicious cheesecake with Oreo cookie crust and a chocolate ganache on top. Make sure you watch all the way to the end so you don't miss my SIS, Simple is Smart tip for how to keep your cheesecake from cracking. We're going to start by making the Oreo cookie crust. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. To make the Oreo cookie crust, you're going to need about 2 cups of Oreo cookies. Crush those and put them in a bowl. To the Oreo cookies, add 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Combine the Oreo cookie crumbs and the butter until you have a nice crumbly crust. And then take that and press that into the bottom of your cheesecake pan. Put that in your 350-degree oven and bake it for 8 minutes. Once it's baked, take it out of the oven and let it cool while you mix up your cheesecake mix. Make sure you reduce your oven to 325 degrees once you take the crust out. Let's make the cheesecake filling. You are going to need 8 ounces of cream cheese. Add your sugar to that. That would be 1 3/4 cup sugar and 1/4 cup all-purpose flour. Put that in your stand mixer bowl and that on your mixer and mix on low. Make sure you keep your mixer mixing on low because you don't want to whip air into your cheesecake mix because that will leave it with holes and bubbles in it, and you want that nice, dense, creamy cheesecake filling. Once you have the cream cheese and sugar mixed together, add your peppermint extract, and that's 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix that in on low. Now you're going to add the eggs one at a time. There'll be a total of 6 eggs. Add the egg. Make sure it's mixed in before you add the next egg. Once you have 3 eggs added to your cheesecake mixture, go ahead and stop your mixer, scrape down the sides of your bowl and the bottom to make sure you get any lumps of unmixed cream cheese. Go ahead and add your other 3 eggs, one at a time, mixing in. I've speeded up the speed just to make it look quicker. Make sure you keep your mixer on low. This mixer looks like it's on high, but make sure you keep yours on low because I've speeded up the speed to show the process and make it quicker. Scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl, and now you're ready to mix in your 1/2 cup of sour cream. Mix it in on low. Take your nicely cooled Oreo crust that is in your cheesecake pan and put it in a cheesecake silicone water bath pan.
Basically what this does is it keeps any water from seeping into your crust of your cheesecake and making the crust of your cheesecake soggy. You can take a large piece of aluminum foil and wrap your cheesecake pan in a large piece of aluminum foil. I've found that sometimes still leaks a little bit, so that's why I purchased the cheesecake silicone water bath pan. You can find it on Amazon. Fill your cheesecake pan with your nice creamy cheesecake batter. And now it's time to mix in your finely crushed peppermint candy. Get those all swirled in, and you are ready to bake your cheesecake. You're going to bake the cheesecake for about 1 hour. Start checking the temperature of the cheesecake with an instant read thermometer at 50 minutes of baking time. And it's now time to make your chocolate ganache that goes on top of the cheesecake. Start with crushing up or finely chopping 8 ounces of premium dark baking chocolate. Don't use semi-sweet chocolate chips. You want a dark chocolate baking bar such as Ghirardelli or even Lindt for the ganache. If you don't use a good quality chocolate, the ganache may not set up. While you're chopping up the chocolate bar, go ahead and put 1 cup of heavy whipping cream in a saucepan. Turn the heat to medium and bring the whipping cream to a simmer. Don't let it boil, just get it to a nice simmer and pour the whipping cream into the bowl of chopped up chocolate. Let that sit for 2 to 3 minutes, and that nicely softens the chocolate. Once it is sat for 2 to 3 minutes, the chocolate is softened, go ahead and stir it up to make your nice, smooth chocolate ganache. Once it is all stirred and melted together, let it cool a little bit until it starts to thicken. Go ahead, pour it on the cheesecake. I over pour the edges so that some of it runs down the edges and makes those nice spillovers on the edge of the cheesecake. Once you get the ganache on the cheesecake, sprinkle it with some peppermint dust. Thank you for watching and enjoy your peppermint cheesecake.
This is my SIS tip for how to keep your cheesecake from cracking. This is a silicone liner that I put my cheesecake pan in. If you go to my website, Grow with Dr. Joe, you'll be able to find a link to where you can purchase a silicone liner for your cheesecake. It's well worth the purchase. The liner helps the cake bake evenly, and if the temperature is 170 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 inch from the edge, that means your cheesecake is baked. It may be a little wiggly in the center, however, it is done. So crack the oven door, turn off the heat, and just let it set in your oven for 1 more hour before you remove it. And you will have a perfectly baked cheesecake.